Hello everybody and welcome to another jam-packed episode of MBHL on the Ball. I'm Matthew LaFleur-Harewood. The regular season calendar is winding down and many of the final playoff spots are still up for grabs. This time of year usually makes for some very entertaining hockey, and this season is no exception. We have a whole lot of hockey to get to in this episode, so let's get right to it. Our first game has huge playoff implications and has Vintage taking on Crazy Canucks. Both teams need a win to distance themselves from the last place Trailer Park Boys for the last playoff spot in the A-League. A loss for either team, combined with a Trailer Park win, puts them out of the playoffs. With so much on the line, you can expect this game to be a close one. This game has Vintage's all-star defense going up against Crazy Canucks' highly touted offense. It'll be interesting to see if both teams come out blazing or play a more conservative game, fearing to give up that crucial first goal. Start this game off in Vintage zone. Marc Paquin's point shot will miss the net, but Chris Clement will pick up the rebound and find Eric Paquin, who gets denied by goalie Chris Kelly. Jordan Panetta later speeds off on a breakaway. He tries to beat Kelly on the backhand, but the netminder stays with him. Canucks again on the attack. A beautiful passing play where 4 players touch the ball gives JP Dominic a great scoring chance, but he also gets turned away. Back the other way, Patrick O'Neill is sent in alone against Joel Belzile. The goalie stands tall as O'Neill tries to beat him 5-hole. Soon after, it's Adam McSweeney who speeds down the sideboards, only to be stopped by Belzile, who's intent on making a statement tonight. Belzile's next test comes from the stick of Pat Farinelli. He gets just enough of the shot for it to trickle wide behind him. Vintage continues to knock on the Canucks' doorstep, but keep getting turned away by Belzile. Jérémy Savard will get a great chance to break the ice when he's left alone on the side of the net, but fans on the pass. Back in Canuck zone, Farinelli will take another whack at beating Belzile, but once again the goalkeeper is there to make the save. Still on the attack, a great passing play by the Vintage players leads to an open net, but McSweeney will just miss the tap-in. Still a 0-0 game. Panetta coming in alone again against Kelly. He opts for the shot this time, but gets denied regardless. Kelly then makes his best save of the game against Eric Paquin, who sees his one-timer gloved by the sprawling netminder. A save definitely worth a second look. Now in the second period, off a face-off win in the Canuck zone, Belzile will make not one, but 2 big saves up close to keep the game tied. Those saves would prove to be huge because with 9 minutes left in the game, Alex Lacoste's one-timer from the top of the face-off circle will beat Kelly over his left shoulder, giving the Canucks the 1-0 lead. Paul Panetta and JP Dominic with the assists on the goal. Blair Climbing will get a great chance to tie the game late, but his shot misses the net and the Canucks win it 1-0. With the win, the Crazy Canucks secured themselves a spot in the postseason festivities, finishing 5th with a 3-5-5 record. With the Trailer Park Boys losing in their final game against the VIPs, Vintage hold on to the last playoff spot, finishing 1 point ahead of the boys. The shutout was Belzile's first of the season. The first round matchup sees the Crazy Canucks face off with Stack, while Vintage take on VIPs. Our second game comes from the D-League and sees Black Dragons versus Piranhas. Piranhas have been up to their usual stuff, just playing great ball hockey. This team of vets just know how to get it done. Even with a playoff spot securely locked, I don't think Piranhas will let up in this game since first place is still on the line. Expect Nick Ciambella and Donald Fitzpatrick to play big minutes. For Black Dragons, this game is everything. While they currently sit in a playoff spot, they aren't guaranteed anything. A win tonight assures them a December playoff date. We start this game off with Dino Folliette attacking from the right boards, only to get stopped by Martin Desplantis. Piranhas would strike soon after when Fitzpatrick wires a laser beam high past Desplantis. Ciambella and Alain Boussier with the assist. Folliette, Ciambella, and Fitzpatrick are at it again moments later, but this time the Black Dragons goalie makes the save. The ambush doesn't stop there with none other than number 20 coming down the boards, dropping into Mike Bianco, who can't beat Desplantis. Now in Piranha's zone, Alexander Huang will get to the ball first, but goalie and Ironman Andrew Jackson makes the save. Off an ensuing faceoff in the Piranha zone, the Black Dragons would get 2 great shots off towards Jackson, but they both go wide. With the Dragons still on the attack, Jackson will make his biggest save of the game when he extends the stick to deny Tiang Peng of an easy goal. The slow-mo replay shows just how big that save was. Now in the second, Bianco will win the faceoff back to Jimmy Gorel, who snaps his shot top shelf on Desplantis, making it 2-0 Piranhas. The Dragons are looking to cut the lead down to 1, but John Wang's initial shot misses and the rebound is pushed away by Jackson. Fitzpatrick shows patience when attacking in the Dragon zone, but his patience doesn't freeze Duplantis. A clearing attempt from behind the net through the middle is blocked by Chiambella, who then finds Folliet at the side of the net, and just like that, it's 3-0 Piranhas. With 7 minutes left in the game, the Black Dragons will score their first goal when Wang skillfully redirects the pass behind Jackson. The replay shows just how subtle the tip was. Regardless, it's now 3-1 Piranhas. The Dragons would look to get even closer on the power play, but wouldn't be able to beat Jackson again, as the Piranhas would finally take it 3-1. With the win, the Piranhas temporarily have first place in the D-League with a 9-3-1 record, awaiting the results of the Outlaws versus just the tip game. The Black Dragons finished with a 4-8-1 record, securing them a playoff spot. Duplantis fared well in the loss, turning away 17 shots, while Jackson flinched on one of only 12 shots that he faced. In other D-League action, two playoff teams face off with Choppers taking on PCUK. PCUK have been having a very good season thus far thanks mainly to the play of goalie Charles Cimetier. He's leading all goaltenders in save percentage and goals against average and will be key to victory against the highly talented Choppers. For the Choppers, Alex Apostolakis will be in charge of breaking down the PCUK netminder. This player has extremely soft hands and a great scoring touch. But without Corey Steger in the lineup to support him, it'll be interesting to see just how Alex handles the scoring responsibility on his own. We start this game off with only 50 seconds gone by. Jonathan Suro will grab the ball in the corner and send it towards the net. Eric Boulay will pick it up and beat Justin Manassa blocker side. That was the first shot of the game. It's 1-0 PCUK. The Choppers goaltender will redeem himself soon after when he stops Suro twice from point-blank range. Now in PCUK zone, Dave Harkness will hover around the blue line and send a wrister through traffic towards Cimetier, who makes the save. Back in Choppers territory, Boulay will send Vin Nguyen alone on Manassa, who can't stop the high snapshot. It's now 2-0 PCUK. PCUK would strike again 45 seconds later. The trio of Tsuo, Chow, and Boulay are at the origin of it once again, with number 41 beating Manassa on the backhand to extend the lead to 3. Now in the second period, more of the same from PCUK. Tsuo will get not one, but 2 chances to beat the Choppers netminder, but gets twice denied. Here's a sequence where the man between the pipes is truly left to fend for himself. Manassa is multiplying the saves, trying to keep his team in the game, but also getting a little help from his post on this last shot. Apostolakis finally makes an appearance, dishing the ball off to Alex Saint-Laurent, but number 13 can't convert the play. With 11 minutes left in the game, Dominic Nemi will win his battle in the corner and behind the net before handing the ball off to Martin Robillard, who was forgotten in front of the net. 4-0 PCUK. The boys in white would seal the deal 4 minutes later when Chow takes the Steve Lee feed in front of the net to beat Manassa down low. Sandro Ferraro also gets an assist on the goal. With the score now 7-0 PCUK, Saint Laurent walks around his defender but Cimetier stands ground clinging to his shutout. Unfortunately for him, with 30 seconds left on the clock, Harkness will beat the netminder with a howitzer from the top of the faceoff circle, celebrating what was the only bright spot for the Choppers that game. As the standings look now, these two teams may face each other in the first round of the playoffs, with PCUK currently in 4th and the Choppers sitting in 5th. Boulay and Chow each had 3 points for PCUK in this game. Manassa was bombarded with 32 shots, including 19 in the second, while Cimetier faced only 11, having stopped the first 10 that he faced. Game 4 features another critical game for both the Leftovers and Farm Team. Leftovers are in a more comfortable position, but with so many teams vying for the last playoff spot, every point is precious. Farm Team is in a must-win situation, and while they're not mathematically eliminated with a loss, it would put them in an ugly situation. Leftovers' Kenny Scott has been very impressive this season. He's a hard worker with great finesse. Farm Team will need goalie James Eat to have a huge game. With their playoff hopes on the line, they'll need to bring their best to the table. This game starts off in Farm Team zone with a beautiful passing play that leaves Vasil Nechev alone in the high slot, but he sends his shot straight into Ead's chest. Now in Leftovers territory, Chris Clement, playing his second game tonight, will find Phil Emmerich alone beside the net, but his shot goes wide on Sonny Patel. Soon after, it's Mark Dole who gets a clear shot at Patel, but he too sees his shot go wide. Finally, Chrissy Gray will pierce into the leftover zone and get a shot on net, only to see Patel whip out the glove. On the ensuing power play, a beautiful passing play by the leftovers players lead to the first goal of the game, with Alex Haddad finishing it off up close. Nechev would add to the leftovers lead 4 minutes later. His first shot is stopped by Eid, but he continues to push forward and bats the rebound out of midair to Eid's dismay. With only 45 seconds left to play in the first and with leftovers pressing again, a scramble will ensue in front of the net, and Ben Daniel will be the leftover picking up the garbage to make it 3-0 heading into the second. The second period isn't even 30 seconds old when Kenny Scott unleashes his speed to get by everybody before snapping the ball low blocker side on E. Just like that, the lead is now 4. As if things weren't going bad enough for Farm Team, Gabe Kaplansky has a breakaway while on penalty killing duties and beats the netminder 5-hole to make it 5-0. While Eads looked sometimes off in this game, he can also look sharp like here when he robs Haddad with a cross-crease glove save. Here's one of the few chances that the Farm Team had in this game, but what seemed to be their problem all game long was their inability to hit the net. With the game now out of reach, Haddad would get his second goal of the night when he busts in after the faceoff and beats Eid, who misjudged the forward speed when coming out to play the ball. The Farm Team players can only hope to ruin Patel's shutout bid, but the goalie would turn away the last chance and the leftovers would take it 8-0. This game is now a must-erase from their memory game for Farm Team, who only mustered 6 shots on Patel, compared to Eid, who faced 35. 7 leftover players had a multi-point game, with Kenny Scott leading the way with 2 goals and 2 assists. Farm Team needs to beat the Choppers in their next game to hop into the playoffs, while a leftovers win against Hannifix, mixed with a Choppers loss, would put them into second place in the league standings. Our 5th and final game has Just the Tip facing off with Outlaws. Just the Tip has the goods to be a great team. Stars like Chip Ramsoumer and Rohan Mayers are notorious for their shot and speed respectively. As they hang over the edge at the playoff cutoff point, Just the Tip will need to put in a little more to make this season count. Their problem is they're up against 2 of the most dynamic players in the D-League. Stéphane Trudel and JF Houpe have been a 2-man show all year long. Their playmaking ability is unbelievable, and both have the ability to light up goalies. If they open it up tonight, it could get really ugly, really fast. We start this one off with none other than Trudel and Houpe on the attack. Houpe will be left alone in front, but goalie Matt Miller is there to make the save. With less than 4 minutes gone in the first, Eric Brolin is sprung in on a breakaway. He takes the ball to his backhand to beat Eric Ladouceur with one hand on his stick. Matt McIver and Nick Rother with the assist. Marc-André Vien would tie the game up at 1 apiece, and then, off a Patrick Pichet point shot, Houpe would score his first goal of the game with a tough angle shot at the side of the net, making it 2-1 Outlaws. Vien then wins a battle along the boards, cuts towards the slot before passing it off to none other than Houpe. 3-1 now. Back in Outlaw zone, Ladouceur has to look sharp on shots by both Roland and Anthony Pitoshia up close. The dynamic duo are back at it once again. Trudel flips the ball over to Houpe, who then sends it back before number 11 mystifies Miller with a series of digs up close to make it 4-1 Outlaws. Hoops, as it likes to be called, would complete his hat-trick before the end of the first when he taps in a pass from none other than Trudel. The Outlaws head into the second with a 5-1 lead. Now early in the second, Just the Tip are looking to cut the lead down, but Ladouceur stops Vinny Matriciano's backhand. With the score now 7-1, a beautiful passing play between Trudel, Manu Boubine, and Martin Caron leads to Boubine's second goal of the year. Houpe would register his 5th goal of the night when he masterfully redirects Boubine's shot from the top of the circle. The replay shows just how easy it seems for number 13 to score goals. Trudel got his 5th assist on the goal. With less than 4 minutes, Houpe would put this game to rest when he takes a feed from Trudel in the slot and wires a one-timer to make it 10-1 Outlaws, bringing into effect the league's mercy rule. With the win, the Outlaws finished first in the D-League with a 9-3-1 record, taking a tiebreaker from Piranhas. Both Trudel and Houpe ended the game with 7 points each, finishing first and second in the league standings, with 48 and 34 points apiece. Just the Tip have to hope for a farm team loss to squeeze into the playoffs, setting a rematch with the Outlaws in the first round. Here are your final standings and scoring leaders for the A, D, E, and G leagues. And for that, we go back to the Leftovers farm team game, where the Leftovers players pass the ball around before Alex Haddad finishes it off. A beautiful tic-tac-toe for your highlight of the night. That's it for another episode of MBHL on the Ball. We've just seen a quick preview of what the playoffs will have in store for us when they kick off in the next few days. Teams have taken the battle down to the wire and will continue to battle for all the marbles in December leading up to that championship cup. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and me on Twitter. I'm Matthew LaFleur Harewood, wishing everyone good luck in their playoff matchups.